All right, I'm going to pop over here to record some Yin Yoga. I've got my dog down here, so if you happen to hear a little snoring in the background, that's what's going on. So we can go ahead. Wherever you may be, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and just drop down the feet really wide onto the mat or blanket, wherever you might be, and allow yourself to bend from the knees and drop the crown down towards the earth. Maybe just notice how it feels to find a little movement into the upper back and lower back. Swaying if it feels good, or just allowing that stillness to settle. Knowing that those hands can rest onto the thighs as you inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Letting go breath from the mouth. One more time. Inhale. Letting go. Dropping the crown and finding stillness. Paying attention to what you're feeling in the body. The hands may rest towards the shins, the ankles. You may notice that the feet feel a little bit different, maybe a little more grounded or comfortable. Maybe the attention of the body shifts. So when we hold poses, asanas for longer periods of time, that typically our mind has more places to wander to. So maybe it's just the observation, what you're feeling physically in the body, and where that maybe a sense of relief or even a sense of tension or tightness may be. And with that intention to decide to let off a little bit. So maybe if it's in the back of the legs, to take a little more bend in the knees. And know that as you breathe, that maybe the knees start to straighten a little more. Maybe it feels a little more comfortable. And as the body feels easy, then the breath becomes a little more easy. The mind a little more smooth. Listening of sounds, tastes, smells. And then nice and gentle, we'll find that inhale, maybe rise up halfway, a flat back. And as you exhale, a bend in the knees and bring the body down to the hips. Bringing the soles of the feet together for butterfly. So this is a space where if it feels really good to bring pillows or blocks, a blanket, sweatshirt, your dog underneath of your knee. Instead of fighting, getting to the floor, create that space to bring the floor up to you, and know that you can close the eyes with that knowing that we're going to be here for multiple minutes. And sometimes, as again, we hold poses for periods of time, that it feels good to find a place of a space. Maybe it's a hinge of the hips forward to come down to the elbows, and dropping the chin towards the chest as you inhale through the nose. Letting go breath from the mouth. You're really opening the mouth, creating more space in the jaw. Knowing that if you want to go deeper, you can always, or find a little more place of relief to bring the floor up to you again. Blocks, maybe your forearms, your fists, underneath of the forehead. And breathing into the hips, the lower back. Noticing the belly expand towards the earth. And as you exhale, the belly coming back towards the spine, the sky. As we move through this practice, this yin sequence kind of stimulates the gallbladder and liver. Gallbladder and liver meridian lines. So those meridian lines in the body that really target those outer legs, the hips, and even the torso. It helps to regulate the blood flow, the digestion, and kind of helps us boost any of those decision-making qualities. So again, maybe sometimes it's hard to sleep because our mind keeps wandering. And as we move, give some place for our mind to return to, whether it's the body or the breath. If there is a decision or something that you feel responsible for, to maybe allow that to be your intention for your practice today. And nice and gentle, we are going to slowly come back to sit onto the bottom. Take the hands to the outside of the knees. Slowly bringing the hands to the back of us, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, a gentle lift of the heart, maybe looking upwards. Opening of the belly, and then gently relaxing, arching the spine, a little cat. So tuck up that tail, and then nice and gentle, bringing the belly forward, opening the heart, maybe gazing upwards. Exhaling, gently tucking the tail, arching the back, tucking the chin. One more time, inhaling, bringing that belly forward, lifting the heart, gazing upwards, and gently returning to neutral as you keep the weight of the hands and shift the hips forward to the heels. From this space, we'll start to roll down onto our backs for a supine pigeon. Inhaling, lifting the right leg high to the sky, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, rotating your ankle. Moving it in one direction and then the opposite. And then allowing the ankle to rest onto the left thigh or knee. Gently feeling that release in the lower back and knowing this is an amazing place to stay. If you find you want a little more challenge or to go deeper, to then start to walk that left foot towards the bum. Again, notice how that feels in the body. As long as it's not twingy or uncomfortable, then to pick up the left leg, slide the hands to thread through, hug onto the back of the hamstring. As you really kind of just Make that foot active and then release. Find what works best for you. Again, as we stay in these poses for longer lengths of time, to know that you can always hug even to the shin. Because what we're really working on here is that right hip currently. We know we still have the left side to go to, and typically one side, depending on the day, depending on maybe your body type or how you hold tension, emotions, might determine on the challenge or the ease that you find yourself with each side. If you want to straighten that bent knee, feel free to do that. You can always reach up and hold on to the back of the calf or even that ankle, but not working so much on that leg. So if that is too much, again, go back to where you were and just breathe. Nice and gentle, we'll bring the left foot down. Inhale the right foot up to the sky. Going ahead and hugging the knees back into the chest for a supine child's pose. So that might feel good, just as if we were on facing the mat. So looking downwards, that the big toes could be touching, the knees could either be close together or the knees could be further apart. Breathing into the lower back, inhaling, expanding the belly. Bright like the most beautiful candle, and as you exhale, the tip of that candle coming towards the heart. Nice and gentle, we'll bring, if the knees are together, apart. If they're already together, give them a little extra squeeze and love and hug, and then bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. Noticing the sacrum, repositioning, finding ease as you this time take that left leg, bring it up to the sky. Maybe rotate the ankle as you hold on to the leg, working in one direction and then the opposite. And then nice and gentle with that foot going ahead, crossing the left ankle to the right knee or thigh. The foot, again, knowing it could be active or relaxed. As you gently bring the hands to the legs, gently bringing a little release, pressure, a pushing away, dropping into the earth and the sacrum. If you feel you want to challenge yourself or go a little bit deeper, to walk that foot, the right foot closer into the bum, and then maybe come to the tippy toe and lift the leg, interlace the fingers, hugging that leg back into the body. If you feel safe and comfortable to close your eyes. Again, that knowing that you can always extend the right leg if it feels like something you want to explore. Otherwise, to gently keep that leg bent as you work into the left side of the body. Allowing a little movements and release into the lower back, the hamstrings, the hips. That knowing that there's no place to be other than right here. on your mat this evening. And then nice and gentle, going ahead, bringing the right foot back down to the mat. Inhaling the left leg back to the sky. Lowering the leg back, the foot to the mat. Finding even weight, and then inhaling supine, child's pose, big toes together, hugging the knees into the body. Noticing that lower back where it meets support. Maybe play with how the spine finds support onto the mat. So when we're doing a traditional child's pose, that mostly it stays, the spine, unless you're really focusing, feels like it stays in one position. But when you're laying here, you can gently rock the hips, the legs from side to side, where you can notice where that spine meets and how it moves in space. And then very gently hugging those knees together. If they're not, or if they were hugged, then give them a little hug and squeeze extra, and either roll to one side or be a little playful and decide to roll up to the soles of the feet. Come to straighten the knees, fold forward, just like the beginning. Taking those feet a little bit wide, a little bend in the knees. Finding really what feels good to you as you create space in the upper back. Knowing the option of holding onto the elbows if it's available. That's that little bit of traction. And then nice and gentle, inhaling the hands down to the mat. Stepping the feet towards the back into an inverted V, downwards dog pose. So again, the feet wide onto the mat. Know that you could have the heels lifted or possibly towards the earth, a little more bend in the knee. Playing again with that space, the body. Connecting to the breath. Inhale through the nose, a letting go breath. Exhale from the mouth. And then nice and gentle, inhaling down to all fours. From here, inhaling, dropping the belly to cow. Exhale, gently tucking the tail, arching the back to cat. That feels like something you want to move through a few rounds of at your own pace. Feel free. And gently returning back to all fours as the hands come to the left side of the mat. Now, here's a place that I would recommend bringing a blanket or pillow underneath of the knee, picking up the right foot and placing it towards the front of the mat. From here, knowing that this is a great first place to be, the hands down. Again, if you want to use blocks to bring the floor up to you, feel free to do that. Knowing that you can curl the back toes under to lift that back knee and send that leg back. So you get more of a stretch in that left hip flexor. Opening the space, the left side of the body. At any point, if it feels like you want to drop down to your elbows, feel free to do that. Maybe it's just a knowing of where you, again, are in space with your body on the mat and where the mind wanders. That awareness of breath and the fingertips, the arms, the shoulders, a letting go. Tension in the inner thighs, the bum, the back of the legs. Knowing that you are supported and grounded even when you decide to let go. And then nice and gentle, we're going to walk our hands back towards that knee so we can start to walk or slide the right foot to the back. Begin noticing where you are in space, curling the toes under, inhaling the hips up to the sky as we breathe into downward dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Gentleness, softness, and simply showing up. Being kinder to yourself. Being kinder to your inner coach, inner critic. Nice and slow, inhaling back to all fours. This time walking that left hand over to the right side of the mat. Picking up the left foot to bring it to the front. Again, knowing this is a great place to hang out. To bring that floor up to you, blocks, blankets, books, pillows. If it feels like you need something underneath of the knees, feel free. To go deeper in that right hip flexor, curl the back toes, send that leg to the back of the mat, and maybe drop the knee as you breathe into the right hip. Again, this sense of release, kindness in the physical. Knowing that we don't have to appear and look like whatever that image may be that we're carrying, but that we are using good habits and skills to just make us feel better every day. Again, that knowing that you can always come down to the elbows if that feels good. One side may be able to do it while the other side, it was uncomfortable. And then gently walking the hands back towards the body as you're able to slide that foot back to all fours. Hands inhale that energy, and as you exhale, lifting the hips to the sky, downward dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and gentle, coming down to all fours. Walking the hands back towards the knees. I'm going to slowly cross the ankles to come onto the bum. From here, allowing my body to hips towards heels and come onto the mat. From this space, drawing the arms overhead and taking a really long stretch from fingertips to toes. Grounding the lower back and the shoulders and feeling comfortable. And sending some hugs to the place of the body. Maybe it's the mind or the heart that needed a little extra love this evening. From this space, we are going to take the feet to the right side of the mat completely. And the hands to the right side of that mat. So starting to create a little arch, like a rainbow in the side body. If, as we lay here, feels like it's too much, let off a little bit. Maybe the feet, the hands go a little more neutral, straight. If it feels like you want to go a little bit deeper, know that you can shift the hips by just simply pressing into the feet, shifting the weight of the hips, the body more to the left, creating a deeper rainbow. Something that looks, by all appearances, like a very simple body posture, but where you may feel it, it may not feel so simple. If it feels comfortable, I would just invite you to go more subtle. What are you feeling in your heart, the heartbeat, the breath? And then very gently, I'm going to bend my knees, soles of the feet to the mat, bringing everything back to the center. Since we just did our little bend in this side of the body, straightening that right leg, opening the arms wide to a T, crossing that left leg over to the right, a gentle twist. Gaze could be up to the sky or over to the left. Again, not knowing that you've done the hardest part of the practice, which was clicking on the link and logging in, sitting on your mat and moving forward. Nice and gentle, coming back to the center. From this space, again, straightening the legs, the arms overhead. This time I'm going to bring your legs to the left side of the room with the arms towards that left side. A stretch in that right. So again, if it's too much, to let off. If you need a little bit more, shift the weight of the hips to the right as the legs travel more to the left. Trying to keep the lower back and that pelvic area more grounded. Breathing into the right lung, kidney. And then nice and gentle. Again, bending the knees to bring everything back to the center, the hands straight. Nice neutral spine. This time, straightening that left leg, arms out wide to a T. Taking that right knee, crossing it over to the left. Gazing up to the sky or over to the right. And then nice and gentle back to the center. I'm sure you can hear my dog. So I apologize. Lucy. So from here, we are going to find Savasana. So if you need a blanket to cover up with, bolster, pillow, something to release, but invite you to have your legs wide onto the mat, palms open, hands just a little away from the body. We bring those shoulders a little bit closer to the ears so that you're not overstretching. Taking an inhale through the nose and exhale from the mouth. As you explore where the back body meets support, starting from the heels, traveling upwards to the crown of the head, softening of the eyes. Eyes heavy in the back of your head. Your jaw's relaxed, tongue relaxed. Your entire head is completely relaxed. In front of the throat and the back of your neck, completely relaxed. Shoulders, elbows, wrists and fingers, relaxed. Lower back, middle back, and upper back, relaxed. Heart, belly, and hips, relaxed. Thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Your legs are completely relaxed. From the soles of your feet to the crown of your head, all the space around you, completely relaxed. As thoughts come to you, observe and honor them and allow them to go so you can be completely relaxed. very gently we'll begin to return. Initially just connecting back in with the physical body. Allowing that awareness to explore as you start to wiggle the fingers and toes. That reconnection to the breath as if it is reawakening. To release and relax for the rest of the day. Taking that gentle bend in the knees and rolling towards your most comfortable side, maybe on the arm, or maybe on the floor. Pausing in fetal position as you reconnect to the breath. Sending yourself a thank you for showing up to your mat, to your practice, and to yourself. Knowing that the intention that you set is viable to carry you through, is living with you at all times. It's just that tapping into. And as you feel ready, we can gently press into that opposite hand and come to a comfortable seated position and close your eyes. May you be happy and free. May you be safe and well. May you feel loving and loved. Namaste. Shanti. Have a great weekend.